Hi everybody, Allison J. Waldman here, your SoapCentral.com soapcaster. It is Sunday, May 6th, and we're going to be talking about the previous week, the week of April 30th, on our wonderful soap operas. So I hope you all had a great week. It was a pretty good week on the shows. Let's start with the big news out of Young and the Restless. They've recast the character of Heather Stevens. So Eden Regal, whatever, isn't coming back. They've cast it with Jennifer Landon. Now, Jennifer Landon, you might remember, was Gwen on As the World Turns. In fact, I think she played a dual character. And I think she won 2 Emmys. So she's a very, very good actress. She's also Michael Landon's daughter. You know, the late Michael Landon from Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. But she's a very, very good actress. And I think this is really going to be an interesting dynamic because I don't think they're bringing her in to play the character the way Eden played it. I think she's coming on. I think she's probably going to go head-to-head with Ricky, who is clearly a villain and a bad guy. And maybe we'll help her some more with Paul. So that's really interesting casting and good news for the show. The show needs another lawyer. I wouldn't even be surprised to see if she comes back and begins working with Michael now that Michael has been fired by Victor and he's going to need to, drum up some business on his own because he can't count on good old Newman Enterprises anymore. So speaking of Young and the Restless, you got to wonder about, and I wrote this in my 2 Scoops column, you got to wonder where they're going with this Sharon and Victor love story. I mean, talk about your forbidden fruit. This is Sharon with her father-in-law. Now, she's been with just about every man on the canvas, Nick and Jack, and she fooled around with Billy for a while, and of course there was Adam. Victor is going to be a explosive storyline, Victor and Sharon. So we'll have to wait and see for that one. And if you read my 2 Scoops column, you'll read how I plot out how everybody's head will explode if this indeed comes to pass. Meanwhile, on Bold and the Beautiful, I gotta wonder, was that all we're going to see of John Hensley? As my friend Adam asked in his 2 Scoops column, was 84 seconds all we're going to see of John Hensley after all his great work as Holden on As the World Turns? I mean, that was kind of shabby. But now, the one thing they did say is that, the character he was playing is a doctor that Steffi knows in Los Angeles. Frankly, I hope that when they go back to Los Angeles, he becomes something of a regular because, boy, does Bold and the Beautiful need some, some new characters to juice things up a little bit. And John Hensley looked great. He did. He looked great. Now, as for their Aspen remote, I liked a lot of the Aspen remote. I mean, they made the most of the snow, although, again, as Adam pointed out, I don't know how many people are skiing in May in Aspen. It seems a little bit warm to be skiing in May. But they made nice use of the scenery, and I did like the final scenes between Steffi and Liam in the snow, with basically, I thought it was the best dialogue they've given for Jacqueline McInnes in a long time, where basically, as Steffi, she was saying that this is kind of getting ridiculous, her and Hope chasing after Liam, and that it's time to stop all the madcap games. And the one thing I didn't really care for was their rendition of Thanks for the Memory. I like the fact that they came up with the idea of doing sort of a salute to Bob Hope and the old movies. I'm a big movie buff, and I kind of enjoyed that. But the way they sang the song was horrible. I mean, not that they don't sing well; they were okay, but the arrangement was bad. Here's how I would have staged the scene. I wouldn't have done it outside in the snow. I would have waited until they went into the beautiful Bill Spencer chateau there. They would have been sitting in front of the fire, and maybe the television is on in the background, and they put in the DVD of Big Broadcast of I think it was Big Broadcast of 1936, when Bob Hope sang "Thanks for the Memories" with Shirley Ross, and it was so well done in the movie that it would have made more sense to have them watching the movie and then commenting on the song and how it related to them. See, that would have worked. Okay? Now, Brad Bell, I know you're a genius, and, you've won Emmys and I haven't, but that's how I would have done it. Now, since I'm giving notes to the shows, let's talk a little bit about General Hospital. General Hospital, on the plus side, the great news is Brandon Barish is not leaving. So Johnny Zakara is sticking around, and that's as it should be, because he's a very good character, perfect antithesis to Sonny, and we need him. My notes for the show are this. We don't need girl-girl fights. That fight between Kate Connie and Carly in the lobby of the Metro Court was ridiculous. I'm sorry, it was totally ridiculous. Women don't get into fistfights except on reality shows, bad dramas on television, and soap operas. I firmly believe that this is some fantasy of the male writer, that they want to see women engaging in wrestling matches, with or without, mud. We got one coming up next week on The Young and the Restless. We're going to see Genevieve and Jill, mucking around in the dirt, having a fist fight. Women don't fight. Women get angry, they yell, they scream, but rarely do women get into physical altercations except on bad reality shows. And the soap operas don't need to be imitating bad reality shows. So please, guys, you want to have a good girl-girl fight, write better dialogue. Okay? That's how it'll work. Write snappy, better dialogue. And since we're talking old movies, go back and watch a movie like The Women. Not the remake, which was terrible, but the original 1939 The Women with Joan Crawford and Rosalind Russell. And you'll hear some of the wittiest, nastiest dialogue between women. That's what you guys should emulate. Okay? All right, that's my notes for General Hospital. Days of Our Lives. Well, I'm a little bit worried about Days of Our Lives, because just the idea of Peter Reckell leaving the show and not playing Bo concerns me, because Peter Reckell is Bo Brady. And I know that, the economics of the industry have changed. I know that Peter's probably looking to make more money than what they're offering him. But here's my advice. Again, I'm just doling out the advice today. Here's my advice to Peter Reckell. Stick with the soap. We don't know how much longer Days is going to be on the air. Who knows what's going to happen? Don't quit your day job. Okay? Whatever they offer you, take it. Maybe renegotiate, get more outs, do some other stuff on the side, but don't give up playing Bo Brady, please. Please. We need you. We need you on the show. And where's Hope going to go if there's no Bo? And frankly, I don't see a recast happening. So I want to see, some more. I like the continuity. Now, it's bad enough 4 actors are leaving Days of Our Lives. I really don't want to see Peter Reckell being a 5th. Okay? Okay. Meanwhile, on Days, they are talking about bringing back Nadia Borland, which is great. I mean, I love her as Chloe, but guys, she kind of ran out of a storyline when she left a year ago. And you're bringing her back, and I can understand, freshening things up, maybe her and Daniel again. Okay, I understand that. But not at the expense of getting rid of Peter Reckell. Okay? Okay. Finally, let's see, did I miss any shows? No, I think I covered it all. So that's the big news this week. I hope you guys are enjoying Soapcast. I noticed that we're a little bit behind on the homepage. I'm going to talk to Dan about that. I hope you guys are tuning in to Soap Central every week for Dan's podcast on Fridays, Soap Central Live. Hope you're enjoying all the great, archives of material on SoapCentral.com, because really, as I told you before, if you really want to know what's happening on the soaps, you want to know about characters, you want to know about past storylines, there's only one place to go, and that's SoapCentral.com. So I'm going to wrap this up now and keep it as short as possible. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but I'll be back next week with more from the Soap Central Soapcast. And this is Allison J. Waldman, your two-scooper, recapper, and soapcaster, signing off. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.